Hello, Western Civilization 105 class. We are getting close to the end of the semester, and I have altered quite a bit of the last few weeks. Just to let you know that over the last few years, I have been trying to change up the last few weeks of class for this reason. Western 105, we end on contemporary times. So that's the attempt of where Western civilization is at historically. And obviously, there's different set of historical realities that are presented to us in the West that might take precedence in the news, rightfully or wrongfully, that are going to be on our minds. And so I've always tried to, figure out what we need to prioritize. I talked a lot about the refugee crisis and the European, mainly I focused on Europe for Western civilization, reaction to that in the political parties and political life within the EU and so forth. And obviously when Russia invaded Ukraine, I could not talk about that, which I'm still going to be incorporating, even though that seems to have disappeared from the news now. Still very much a real thing, and the issue of NATO and Russian nationalism. And then just when we have other events that there's certain things that can be very unclear about where they fit into Western civilization or not, but they're something that the Western world's obsessed with. And so I'm going to keep trying to think about what would be the most pertinent or helpful for you to understand about the history of the Western world in contemporary times now. So I'm mainly picking videos and lectures or anything that I can find to deal with that. So I hope that you found this helpful. When we covered the Cold War and dealing with Marxism and socialism, as we'll see in the United States, I saw one of the men currently running potentially for president, again, in the news, talk about the problem of stopping Marxism and socialists in America. And what's interesting is I think if you really study the amount of socialists and Marxists in American politics is extremely low compared to other Western countries. And that kind of obsession doesn't really show up in Europe because many European parliaments have had communist parties for decades, and it's not been controversial. So but it's important to understand this history. So whatever your politics are, is just, I'm hoping that we finish this up, and that wherever you're going to stand on all these things, that you kind of understand how this is operating in the real world, and also just understand the history in a more grounded way. I hope I did a service to you for this. I hope also, with some of you in an online setting, I don't know if you want to debate about certain things we covered, or have discussions, or develop them, or want clarification. Before we end this semester, I'd like to invite anybody to mention anything or challenge anything that was discussed, and see what kind of sources that I could provide to try to discuss that or not, if you actually care about any of these subject matters. That's the important part, right? In any case, whether you care deeply about the subject or you're just glad to get over for a requirement, you did the work. Good job. And, just know that the final is going to not be that many points. It's 25 points. What's important is all the work that you were doing up to this mostly. And the last thing I'm going to say, you got to pay attention. I do not take late work without permission. And I've already stated that by next Sunday, all the late work has to be in. That's where I'm at before the final. Okay, so that is really important to know, because I run out of time. I have to get all your grades in at a certain time. So this is not even me being a hardline about it. It's just like I literally have to get what I can graded, and then the finals, and then give you guys a grade. Okay, so I wish you all well. I hope your holiday season's going great, and we'll be in touch. Contact me if you need me.